Drug Formulation, Chapter 5, Quality Control and Stability. Welcome to this explainer. Go ahead and just settle in, take a slow, steadying breath, and allow yourself to center your focus. Today, we're taking a really mindful, deliberate approach to your pharmacy studies. It's time to let go of all that outside noise and arrive fully in this moment of learning. You've worked incredibly hard to get to this point in the material. So this time is dedicated entirely to consolidating your knowledge and preparing your mind for the final, absolutely crucial phase of the drug formulation process. We're going to take this step by step, really honoring the structured path of your curriculum. Hearing the words drug formulation, Chapter 5, quality control and stability, well, it means you've reached a truly significant milestone in your studies. But before we dive headfirst into the intricate details and advanced methodologies of this final chapter, things like checking pH levels, analyzing dissolution rates, or monitoring product degradation over time, we actually need to take a calming, centering look back at the entire syllabus. Because to truly grasp the gravity of quality control and product stability, we have to ground our learning in the foundational steps that brought us here in the first place. Think about it. We literally cannot assure the quality of a product if we don't deeply understand how it was built right from the ground up. So, our agenda for today's explainer covers Welcome to Chapter 5, a drug formulation course overview, core learning objectives, foundational and advanced topics, and finally, the 5 course chapters. Let's jump right into Section 1, Welcome to Chapter 5. This is a great opportunity to just pause and reflect for a second. Reaching this final stage of evaluation and stability, it's a huge testament to your dedication to pharmacy practice. You see, mastering quality control requires a really profound appreciation of all the sequential steps that came before it. You're no longer just putting ingredients together. Right now, you are the ultimate gatekeeper of safety and efficacy. You're evaluating the final product's entire integrity. Basically, everything you've learned about how a drug behaves and interacts is now being put to the ultimate test. So take a moment to validate your own journey to this point. The sheer complexity of what you're about to evaluate absolutely requires the exact foundation you've spent this entire course building. Moving right along to Section 2, Drug Formulation Course Overview. Let's zoom out a bit to see the whole forest before we start examining the individual trees, all right? Drug formulation is a comprehensive study covering essential concepts, principles, methodologies, and practical applications relevant to pharmacy practice. Notice the actual weight of those words. A comprehensive study means we are leaving absolutely no stone unturned. You've been absorbing essential concepts and rigorous methodologies that govern exactly how medications are safely produced and delivered. And this isn't just some theoretical science either. It's deeply tied to the practical applications that define the very core of modern pharmacy practice. So I want to pose this question to you. How do we actually translate these broad, overarching concepts into a comprehensive working understanding? Just allow that question to sit with you for a moment. This inquiry really serves as our mindful bridge between the sweeping overview of the course and the very specific day-to-day competencies you're required to demonstrate as a practitioner. It's all about taking the abstract theory of formulation and making it concrete, actionable, and above all, safe for clinical use. Okay, let's look at Section 3, Core Learning Objectives. These transformative goals outline exactly how we move from passive reading into active clinical capability. Let's just slowly and deliberately walk through each of these 4 objectives. First, you must be able to describe the fundamental principles of drug formulation. This is basically your baseline vocabulary and understanding. Second, and this is crucial, you must apply that theoretical knowledge to clinical and practical scenarios. This is what breathes life into your studies. It's what it truly means to be a pharmacist, solving real-world challenges with your knowledge. Third, you're expected to analyze and evaluate key concepts through evidence-based approaches. This means relying on hard data, research, and stability testing, which is the absolute essence of Chapter 5. And finally, you must demonstrate competency in course subject areas, because at the end of the day, it's not just about knowing, it's about confidently doing. Next up is Section 4, Foundational and Advanced Topics. Mastering this field requires a really specific blend of information. You're bridging theoretical frameworks, practical applications, and clinical relevance. You can kind of think of it like a 3-legged stool. The theoretical framework, well, that's the chemistry and physics of the drug. The practical application is the actual methodology of creating the tablet, capsule, or liquid. And the clinical relevance ensures that once the patient actually takes this formulation, it acts exactly as intended in the human body. This harmony between theory, practice, and clinical outcome is what defines the absolute highest standard of pharmacy practice. And that brings us to Section 5, the 5 course chapters. So, the really crucial point here is visualizing this progression. Trace this mindful journey with me for a second. We began all the way back at step 1 with pre-formulation studies, understanding the raw physical and chemical properties of the drug itself. Then, step 2, excipients, where we learned about the inactive ingredients necessary to deliver the active drugs safely. With those pieces in place, we moved to step 3, solid formulation development, really mastering tablets and capsules. Then, step 4, liquid formulation development, mastering solutions and suspensions. And finally, all of this careful, highly methodical work leads us right back to our current destination, step 5, quality control and stability. Looking at it this way, you can clearly see that Chapter 5 isn't just an isolated topic. It's the protective shield that verifies the success of the 4 steps that came right before it. Take one final deep breath. Are you ready to demonstrate your competency in quality control and stability? You've reviewed the map, you understand the foundational principles, and you know exactly how the entire formulation process connects together. You are focused, you are centered, and you are fully prepared to dive into your Chapter 5 studies with real clarity and purpose. Thank you so much for joining me in this explainer, and I wish you a very calm and highly productive study session.